Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome back from the holidays. You know, I do a lot of these like mental updates. A lot of this is for myself. I don't like writing. I don't like journaling or stuff like that. I feel like creating these videos is very kind of self-fulfilling in a way that I kind of get to get things off my chest, right? But the whole mentality I'm posting them is to help somebody else who might be going through something similar, right? And you know, some people watch it, some people don't. But you know, I talked about burnout before, and that's been kind of a big thing for me. My whole thing about the YouTube or content creator realm is I preach all the time to people who ask me about, like, is it easy to get into, and should I get into it, and how should I look at it? The main thing I tell them is, like, don't go into it wanting to make money or trying to make it like your job. Because when that happens, you kind of lose sight of what makes it fun, right? And I'll use myself as an example for a second. I started making money with this, a little bit more money with this, just through ad revenue alone. You know, obviously not substantial. There's no way I could be full-time with it, but I was making some extra pocket money. And I started worrying about, like, what videos should I post? What are the videos making me the most money? I'm looking at all the analytics. I'm doing all these things to try and make myself do more of those videos. And don't get me wrong, those particular videos that I'm talking about, I love doing them. You know, I love the artists that I'm covering, all of that stuff. I'm very much okay with and love listening to those videos. But for the longest time, I've said I wanted to do more bands because I'm a musician. I play guitar. I'm not a singer, right? And I know there's a lot of people who want to see more vocalists, like Dimash, like Chinchilla, like Morissette, like all these vocalists, watching you, all these vocalists that I'm now doing that I love doing. I know there's an audience out there, a massive audience. I want to see it. But for me, right, like my whole thing, like I said, is a musician and playing guitar, and I want more bands on this channel. I want to be able to do that. And, you know, subconsciously too, I'm trying to start slowly moving out of just doing reaction videos. And that's my whole goal, is to eventually create a foundation and a fan base on my channel that will kind of follow me wherever I go, if that makes sense, right? So, like, cool, you love my reactions, and no matter who or what band I'm reacting to, you want to listen to it or want to watch the video. And then outside of that, like if I post video game content or I post these type of stuff or something like off the cuff, you still want to hear it because you're here for me, right? And that's kind of where I want to be. I've noticed since I haven't been doing Ren stuff that there's been within myself, nothing to do with you guys and support, because the support has still been amazing throughout. But since there's been a lot less Ren stuff, I feel like that avenue to kind of talk about important stuff like mental health and all that has kind of been lacking, and therefore my mental health has kind of diminished a little bit. I think a lot of that does have to do with the mentality I've had about focusing too much on, you know, how I can bridge the gap between doing what I love to do on the channel and kind of making some extra pocket money, right? That's where I think I lost myself a little bit. Is I've never done this for the money. I don't want to do this for the money. But I think my life situation right now, I was trying to make it to where, you know, I make some extra money doing what I love to do. And I kind of got too deep into that rabbit hole of focusing on that, when I need to focus on what I love to do with the channel. And then if money comes, then great. So I'm working on that. I'm going to try and do a lot more Ren stuff on the channel. After this, I have a bunch of stuff on my list to react to. But yeah, my mental health hasn't been great lately. The holiday season is really weird for me. I've never been a fan of Christmas because of just history and stuff that has happened in my past with Christmas. And that's continuing this year. You know, as much for those of you that know what's gone on with my mom and that whole thing and that whole realm of my life, for the most part, like, I think I've been pretty good about it not affecting me mentally or emotionally, right? But this was the first year that officially, like, she's out of my life for the holidays. So, like, that was a little bit weird of a dynamic to kind of grasp at times. But then right before I started today, my dad was here yesterday. He came for Christmas and hung out and was great. I ended up texting him at the end of after he left, because it's hard for me to open up to him. It's honestly hard for me to open up to pretty much anybody, including my wife, but I've gotten a lot better at that, of opening up to my wife. But it's hard for me to open up to him just because, minus like 1 or 2 times, my dad's always been pretty much like emotionally stoic and like that foundation, I guess, that society thinks men's supposed to be, right? And it's been anyways, after he left, I texted him and was like, hey, I'm sorry that I only like talk to you about football, which is what I've been doing, is like every text is about football. And I know I know I never talk about my life. I know I never really talk too much about the kids or anything else. And you know, I said I've just used football kind of as a way to get out of reality, right? That right now, that's been kind of my escape from a lot of things. So yeah, I sent him that text, and then mostly I told him, like, you know, I feel a little bit guilty because I haven't gone to see my grandma, because long story short, she's in a hospital right now because she has dementia. So she's in like adult care type of thing. It's just hard. We don't have a babysitter, and taking the kids that far is difficult. I can go on my own, but it's just a lot of like, it's selfish, but it's really hard for me to just go and do that and see her the way she is now when I haven't seen her for a long time. So I mentioned that. And then this morning, my dad texts me saying she had a seizure and she's unresponsive. So, you know, I told him, I was like, let me know what's going on and if I need to go out there, because I really want to go out there if it is like, you know, the last. And he told me, like, don't worry about it. He'll go and see how she's doing before I up and leave. But I definitely feel guilty sometimes that I have tunnel vision, right? I'm so focused on my life, my kids, work, everything that I'm trying to do for myself, or I won't say myself, for my family. And then now trying to, as my therapist says, make time to focus on myself, because I don't do that enough. I'm always last on the list. That stuff like this that are like hard to do, I'm really bad at. And then I feel guilty, and then I don't want to do it more. So it's just a weird spot to be in right now. So so it's not like I've been neglecting or just lazy or whatever. It's just sometimes when it rains, it pours, right? We've had a lot of stuff too. And obviously there's people way worse off than us, but we've just had, you know, like I said, when it rains, it pours. Just a lot of expenses that have come up at the end, on top of like Christmas stuff, that it's just, it sucks. You know, my wife needs new tires, and it's raining right now, so she definitely needs new tires because she's driving the kids to school and going to work. And our stove just broke, and our dryer just broke, and our fridge is breaking now, and just a bunch of different stuff that happens when you're a homeowner, right? So there's a lot of stresses, and I feel like I'm getting pulled in different directions and trying to be as stable as I can with knowing full well that right now I'm not. So it's been a rough month, I guess. The ironic thing is that I've had to study for this test that I'm definitely not going to be ready for. And I've kind of been using that as a reason to, like, at the end of the day, not have to talk to anybody and just focus on something else. But my mind is so foggy that even that hasn't been, like, I'm only like 50% focused on it. So there's a lot of stuff. I don't want the channel to suffer, but at the same sense, if I'm not like even like 80% invested in it, or I'm not emotionally prepared or physically able to just do it, I don't want to do it. So if I come into my office and I'm working and I happen to be in a good mood, I'll quickly turn on and record something. That's kind of what has been happening with my latest videos. I have a plan. I have a planner. I'll take a picture of it, but I have a planner of like stuff I want to do for the week that I've literally touched one of them. So bear with me, guys. I like to be cheerful and kind of sarcastic and funny during most of my videos, but that's one side of me. I like to post these to kind of show you guys the other side of what it is being a content creator. You know, there's been people who have been there for me through the content creator stuff, both in the Discord and just in general. As you guys know, Jess and I have been collaborating a lot, and in the heat of the moment when I'm feeling things, I tend to vent to him, and he hasn't complained at all and just been a good ear. But there's been other people that want to be there for me that just I haven't let them. So it's just part of what I do. But yeah, hopefully there's gonna be more Ren on the channel so I can get kind of this stuff out from that. I'm gonna try and do some off the cuff things along with, since my wife's home this week, I'm gonna be able to do a little bit of it, but I'm gonna try and get other content out besides reaction videos. So hopefully there'll be some videos that are, I'll have like 2 video days. So I'll do a reaction and then something else, and then reaction and something else. Whether it's a video game thing, whether it's a couple ideas I have that I want to put out there. Hopefully this week I can do that. But this is a little bit of an update on my mental. So hopefully you guys don't mind me kind of doing these videos. I know not everybody's going to watch, but I post them anyways because I feel it could, like I've always said, if I could help at least one person every day, it puts me in a better mood. So anyways, I appreciate you all for the support that you guys have been showing me. We're almost at 7K, which is pretty crazy, to be honest. I didn't think I would be here after where I was at in March, but we're here. Also, I want to say on March 15th, I'm going to be doing a 1-year reaction anniversary. I gotta think of something better for that. But that's my first reaction was High Ren. And I'm going to do a video on March 15th of me reacting to High Ren. And then probably throughout that week, I'll go over some stuff that I've done on the channel and go over my like thumbnail, how those have evolved, how I've evolved, like all these different things to kind of show the ins and outs of a content creator and how they change and grow. So anyways, I'm excited for the new year and for everything that's going to happen. So like I said, I appreciate you guys for the support. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.